Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Wednesday, January 18th, 2012. I would love to go over the trades that we took this morning in the live trading room on the ES and the YM, but we didn't take any. The market, unfortunately, was in a big sideways pattern, and we did get a move up. I'm not going to deny that. We got a nice move up, and during that whole move up, we were trying to enter. Okay, these are the rules for the entry right here. Right there, we were trying to follow those rules and get an entry. Right here was our only pullback on that 12-point move up. I think it was 12 points. On that big move up, we'll call it. Right here was our only entry opportunity, but it was disqualified by the double top right here on the 4-tick range. Okay, so we didn't actually get it. Normally, I would have said, okay, well, I'll just take it. If it still qualifies over here on the 2100 or on the 10K, I would take it from there. But it didn't pull back to the BBC on either one of those. Right here, it didn't actually pull back far enough, and over here on the 10K, you will see same thing. It didn't pull back. So we didn't get any trades in on the ES or the YM this morning. There were very few actual opportunities to trade on the ES and the YM this morning. We didn't get a pullback all the way over here, and even if we did, we were right in the zone. Over here, we did get a pullback right here, but the ES was going into the zone, so we didn't take the long trade here. And if we had, we would have stopped out. You can see I drew in a triangle here where it started to get really congested during the live trading room. We broke out of that triangle on the downside. We went down to the zone, and now it's bouncing up off the zone. This is what you would call a bugle, but I won't get into that right now. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's the way it was today. We didn't even have the opportunity to place a trade. We tried. As a matter of fact, I probably still have an order. No, I don't. I canceled it. Okay. I thought I still had an order sitting there, but we took it off when it disqualified over here. Let's see. What I can go over for you is what Dwayne had mentioned. If you look at the cycle down here, okay, this is the CF cycle, and on the 10,000 contract, one thing about the CF cycle is when it goes from extremely overbought, which means like right down here where it's below 10, or when it's above 90, and it starts to go in the other direction, it breaks over the 10 line, breaks up above the 10 line or down below the 90 line. You'll usually see a move in that direction. Okay, today this was pre-market, so there was nothing happening in there, but this was once the market opened up, it moved up right here. Now we didn't take any trades off of this. I'm just pointing this out for everyone's benefit. Okay, over here was the move down. Okay, it broke down below there and it started to move down a little bit. Now, what Dwayne was talking about when he was showing you his charts is more than likely we're going to move. We're going to work our way down to the zone down below us. But you can see how the cycle has already moved all the way down here and started to move up. And as it started to move up, price started to move up. All right. So we broke above that level, and price is moving up from that level. One area that we mentioned in the live trading room this morning was where I drew this red line in here. We were saying if price breaks down below there, now that was before it put in support here, but we're saying if price breaks down below there, then it's likely to keep going down. Okay. At the time when we said that, the cycle was heading down, everything was heading down and looking pretty short. Then it printed support dots right here, right at the close of the morning session. The live trading room this morning, it printed these support dots in here. And then we're saying, well, you know what, we're going to need some closes down below there, but the cycle's not in favor of shorting at this point. Okay. So, that was it. That was pretty much it. You can see the cycle's moving up from here, and price is moving up from here. I would think price is probably going to stall out at the weekly trading zone here. It will probably stall out there and start to move down. From an hourly perspective, I will show you what we were looking at this morning. I'm just going to slide this over here. This was our first hourly bar this morning, right here. Okay, you can see it had a big move. It closed right here at this trend line I had drawn in, and I had drawn in a channel. I'm estimating the bottom of the channel here, but it had closed right there at the top of the channel, and it kept going up from there. And I said when it did that, well, we'll have to see how this bar closes, because right now it's just closed at the channel and moved up above it, so it was all green right up above the channel. It ended up closing down below the channel, and you can see how it's fighting it right now, this channel, this trend line that I had drawn in here. Okay, so you can see how it's fighting it right now. On the downside, this trend line that you see down here is from a different channel that we had drawn in earlier. Okay, so looking downward, you can see it's probably got potential to move down 6 or 8 points. I would think it would go down to the weekly trading zone down below us. Alright, that is from right where we are right now. It is, I believe it's 8 points. 8 points, 10 points, something like that. Anyway, you can see we just put in a resistance dot right here. Okay, we just put in the resistance dot, so the market is just going sideways and chopping. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all, and today so far has been that way. The best trade is no trade at all. Let's see, is there anything else worth showing you? The YM really didn't have anything. If we look at, let's look at the 7-minute here quickly, if it loads. Hang on, it's loading. There it goes. At least I think it's loading. There it goes. Alright, you see we had a bullish cross of the sentiment indicator here. And when you get a bullish cross of the sentiment indicator, you anticipate a move all the way back down to the line in the sand. The line in the sand, in this case, is 1293.59. Alright, so I would anticipate it dropping all the way down there, if not farther. Usually when it bounces off the line in the sand, you'll get a 2-point bounce minimum. That is usually the case. The first bounce off the line in the sand after a cross up or a cross down will usually give you a couple of points. Alright, let's see, back to the 10,000. And the 2100 tick, even on the 2100 tick this morning, I don't think we had any setups. Alright, unfortunately, that's where we're going to have to, that is where we're going to have to wrap it up, I think. Let me pull this way up here. Alright, you see how it's getting up to the zone right here. Now looking at the 2100, you had to have been aggressive to get in right there. If you were aggressive and you get in right there, then you were okay. But if you weren't aggressive, then there was nothing in here. The only opportunity was over here, and that was pre-market. You would have had to have gone short right in there. I know some fellows in the room were asking about the short over here, but the actual short on the 2100 tick was over here. Okay, so if you were trading pre-market, then you would have gotten into it right there, and you could have ridden it down, almost to the weekly trading zone. Okay, that is it, guys. That's what we have for the morning. So I am going to wrap up my recording right now. If anybody has any questions, just type them in, and I will answer them right now.